I want to thank everybody for watching Crypto Revolution. We talk about everything crypto almost daily, jumping right into the market. Today in crypto, real quick, if you sign up for the year of the leverage trading group and the spot trading group, you get 70% off and you get 4 months free of each group. You go to cryptorev.net and you can pay with a card. The groups pay for themselves quickly. We're starting a moon bag group to pump out some of these coins with 20, 30, 50x, 100x bangers with no leverage, right? We're going to find them on the small cap, find them as small caps, newer coins, 96% on DAR, 88%, 51%, 48%, 27%. This person in 3 years, been in the group, they made $800,000 in the group. Life-changing money. 1,000% gains out of DC, 635%, 410, 101, 245, 200 4-hour chart. So important to explain this idea. And I'm going to go over some halving ideas that we've been talked about, and I've promised you guys. So stay tuned for those. But understand you've got this support level where Bitcoin dropped and bounced multiple times, but then just couldn't hang on. But you've got buyers here. Well, that means there's buyers here. Now, every time you had a bearish cross of the 21 and the 50, you got to move lower. See how the 21 crossed above the 50 right here? What happened? Banger. All right, here you had a bearish cross of the 21, where the 21 crosses down below the 50, major pullback. Now, you had the 21 cross above the 50 right here, major banger. Now you've got the 21 bearish cross on the 50. So there's a falling wedge in here. Bitcoin bulls make a break right here. You got a falling wedge. It's supposed to break higher, but this could switch back and happen here where you had the bearish cross and then the bullish cross, and then you moved higher. You got mixed signals here. And Sunday night, Monday morning, market's going to open. I'm going to try to get some sleep, and I'm going to have alerts set. That's the most important part about using Tradingview. You come down here and you add alert on trend line, and you go to only once and you create it, and it will send you an email and you will not miss the move. So if you're at work, you got to go to the bathroom, make a quick trade. That's how we've got people in the group, doctors that are in hospitals, people that work in manufacturing facilities, and they're making more trading than they are working. And so we've got to get you guys to this level, because life is not about work for the man. It's just not. We're not going to predict this, but Bitcoin needs this bounce. And if it gets it, there's going to be a lot of sellers at this level. If it breaks to the downside, 24,800, 22,900, 21,800, it gets ugly. I'm going to talk about another idea, which is clear. Bitcoin daily chart. You've had a falling wedge, broke to the upside as it was supposed to, right? Now you're in a falling wedge and it's running out of room. You're looking for a move soon. A lot of volume coming in now. Need a major break above really this level right here for major upside, 31,800. You've got the halving coming, but you still have 217 days until this happens. So we're going to analyze what happens during the Bitcoin halving to give you a better idea on what to expect. One thing we know about the halving is that every time we get a halving, we get crazy run-ups out of Bitcoin. A lot of times you can see pretty good run-ups back here. You got a pretty good run-up before the halving. This one, not so much. So we're going to watch this next move out of Bitcoin. It dips. We have the ability to pick up a lot more coins after the halving run up. And I'm going to show you data on this. After the halving run up, bull run rally. Like there'll be some volatility. You get a hype rally out of Bitcoin. And I'll show you all this. For the spot trading groups, this young lady, she turned a $200 portfolio into $200,000 in 2020. She's in the entertainment industry and she couldn't hold the job, right? Grateful to be in the group, grateful to have found crypto. Moonbags are a prime example of what is going to change the game completely for us. I'm putting a small group together. If you're good at fundamental analysis, and I mean really good, like you've made $1 million off fundamentals and holding small caps, we're going to be working together. I'm going to give you guys some of the picks that we come up with in the group. We have so many gifted people when it comes to buying the small caps and riding them higher. And then I help them fine tune taking profits so they're not holding these coins. Trading is 10% buying, 10% selling, 80% waiting. You've got to time this market. And that's where constant updates come in and are very important. Because you remember SafeMoon? Who remembers SafeMoon? And so I had a post where SafeMoon, put it over here, I had a post, SafeMoon, not so safe, LOL, where SafeMoon had Mega Moon Rally, it was all the hype, and then it just is down here. Now, I do have a chart on it. It's called SFM now. It really needs to flip the 200 SMA on the daily chart. When the 200 simple is broken and held, you'll see accumulation is over, right? So here it broke above it, failed. Here it broke above it, failed. Here it broke above it, failed. But now it's getting to a point where you've got a little bit of bullish divergence, and do you get that move to the upside? So we're going to focus on a lot of these smaller caps. Now, to reinvent the spot group, we need moonbags. Adapt, overcome, and conquer. Got kicked off Binance, the worst thing in the world. And then KuCoin gem picks were born. Now, moonbags. Anybody, you go to cryptorev.net, you join the group, you change your life, period. I'm going to show you how to nail the Bitcoin halving right now. The safest time to enter a lot of these coins is when Bitcoin halving is over. However, you can enter before the halving and still do really well. We're going to come up with the coins that have selling the dream. They've got strong fundamentals. They've got good marketing. Good marketing is so important, right? You get 5 giant YouTubers to pump the coin and the coins are going to pump, but you have to play the game. Safe Moon, not so safe. However, I get comments like this. I made $179,000 off $2,500 on SafeMoon. This is from 2021. The market cycle's higher. We were going to kill it on these mega micro caps, right? MEXC, make an account there. We're going to kill it because we've seen a lot. I mean, they have 1,000 coins to trade. They have the biggest selection. But what I want you to understand is the Bitcoin halving is here, and it's going to happen on April the 24th-ish. But the price action right now, I'm going to go back in some previous halvings, and so we can develop a strategy. You'll be able to take advantage of the run-up. And then you got to know that there's going to be a pullback before the actual halving. That's what we've seen. So here, your price action is at resistance. You've got a rising wedge. This is supposed to break lower. We've got a small falling wedge here. This is supposed to break higher. We're not trying to predict this. Flip this level. We're going long. We're running up here. Okay, the 618. Bid level. This thing breaks lower. That just, as long as you put in a higher low, a low that's higher than the previous low. So any low higher than the previous low, because then you're looking for a higher high and you'd get a good chance of another run up to this level. But it sure would be sweet to get that breakout above here sooner than later. There's a bunch of news. There's all these crypto bills that need to go through. Those will be immediate catalysts for moves higher. So understand those are the variables. But what is not a variable is the Bitcoin halving, because historically, this is meant for ridiculous upside in the market. What we want to look at is what happened in the 2020 halving, where you had the panic situation sell off, Bitcoin took off too. And you had the halving, and then parabolic price rise. Okay. It's coming. Again, I'm going to take you back one more year, but real quick, let me show you what this halving did in 2020. So the key is to buy the hype, but expect a pullback before the bull market. The previous Bitcoin halving run up started 59 days before the actual halving. Now, a lot of this had to do with the panic situation drop. Now, 4 days before halving, the actual halving, Bitcoin dropped 20%. All right, so there's your short opportunity. So halving, run up, and then short. Or you can just exit the position, take your profits, and then you're opening up and you've got 20% more Bitcoin because you're buying in. And this thing went crazy up to about 60,000. So remember, the pullback comes before the actual halving. And there'll be a block countdown. I'll keep you guys up to date on this, but this is what happens. Okay, now you really want to turn on log scale. And you could have loaded altcoins. Remember how we talked about SafeMoon? And I just picked some random coin, right? And I just know that somebody made $179,000 off SafeMoon. Where's SafeMoon now? Looks like it's dead. But when new money comes in, maybe they reinvent themselves. I know that the newer coins have the initial run-ups and the biggest moves, right? Just because they can tell you whatever they want, create a pipe dream, promise you the world, and not have to deliver until later on. So those will be the easy picks. Now, understand that you could have bought anywhere back here. What's important is you see the 200 simple moving average, right? This is the daily. And when this thing broke above the 200 simple, it stayed above the 200 simple all the way up to here, right? And so you would have made, if you would have bought just that break above the 200 simple on the daily on December 1st, 2015, Bitcoin was $250. And you would have sold at 19,700. Tube Yahoos, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Well, you know what? Buy the dip doesn't work in a downtrend. You had a huge bearish pattern. And so the trading group was born right here, where you had this descending triangle. I was looking for a pullback to about 4,800, right? Which happened. And then it rolled over again down to 3,150. And then it ran up to 14,000. We're looking to add some moonbag coins based on the halving run up that it's coming. All right. And in this situation back in 2016, you could have bought back here and been up considerably. Okay. And so I had an email from somebody and they're like, why aren't you posting small cap moonbags? If you go back and you look at the Bitcoin halving happened on July the 9th, 2016, you saw 80% run up 51 days before the last Bitcoin halving. The halving run up started. We're at 17. The most important thing is we're going to look for these moonbag coins because in the United States, we're limited, can't trade on KuCoin. However, we're going to do our best to find the coins that are selling the best dream, that are hyped and going to be pumped. So one advantage I have is time coins hit me up and they're like, hey, we're going to, this viewer X, Y, and Z, which are really famous. They're going to pump these coins on these days. And we want you to do it too. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. But I have the inside scoop. So those are the types of things that I share with the group and give us a huge advantage for the run up. 19 days before the last Bitcoin halving, the price dropped 29%. So there's your short idea. So you got your long idea, you run up 80%, and then you drop 29%, you bounce, And then later, you drop all the way down here, right? And so after the halving, the price moved sideways for 22 days and then dropped 27% in 3 days. After this low was put in at $480 on a macro level, you saw from August the 2nd, 2016 to December 16th, 2017, Bitcoin had a 4,000% increase, and it took 500 days. That financial freedom is coming. Based on the chart, Bitcoin really bottomed way back here. You could have gotten in at 200. The safest entry for moonbag ideas are after the Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin holding above the 200 simple on the daily chart. But once you get these major breakouts of these, this is accumulation, reaccumulation. This is when the whales are stacking up, right? And so here it happened down here. If you zoom in, you have an ascending triangle, and there has to be something in your mind that goes off and says, pay freaking attention to these Bitcoin patterns, because when they break out, they move the market quickly. Because everybody's sitting on the sidelines. It might be news catalyst. It might be just a breakout of a pattern. It might be a combination of both. And that's what we're looking for. And that's what's coming. And so understand that these ideas will take you to the next level. Panic situation, you saw Bitcoin drop down. It lost the 200 simple, and it dropped down to $3,800. And then when it broke above the 200, everybody started buying, right? MicroStrategy, they loaded up here. Then you had the run up to 60,000. Okay. So that's what's going to happen, going to run up, and you could have a run up before then. If you were to get a pullback, that would be a great buy opportunity. But the price action is above the 200 still. Some ugly patterns, but you know what I mean. Actually, I should probably draw them with some straight lines. So if the breakout happens here, you're going to see a nice run up to the 618, very feasible, 48,000. Possibly pull back, you put in a low, and then Bitcoin halving. Now we're at this resistance, and this is important to pay attention to. Key is we've had to adapt, overcome, and conquer. We're empowering people to change their lives forever. If you want a part of this, cryptorev.net, we kill it. SafeMoon, like I said, could reinvent itself. I would rather find some of the new coins that are just coming off the dexes and they're on MEXC, but it all depends on what Bitcoin does, how it plays out exactly. You've got a falling wedge. This is supposed to break higher. 68% chance this breaks to the upside. If it breaks higher, then you're going to come up here. If you look at the size of the pattern, and then if it breaks out where it's at right now, you're really coming up here to exactly where you were, right at about 31,500. Okay. That's what's supposed to happen. The only thing that creates some doubt is the bearish cross of the 21 and the 50. The possibility that this continues to move sideways, but the halving is coming. Gensler said, we're not really worried about crypto, so we're not going to see the regulations that we want to see. Get these institutions involved. Hopefully we do, but that's always a variable. There's a school of traders that only trades on the RSI, and they look at the patterns on the RSI and they trade the patterns on the RSI. And the RSI has, so here's your falling wedge. You come down here, the oversold levels, you've got a higher chance of a breakout to the upside. Draw the patterns on the RSI, you get the same thing playing out here. If you guys like the content that I provide on a daily basis, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment in the comment box. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.